Hey guys, welcome back MMA fans. Today we're going to be going over a few fighters who could be the next superstar of the UFC. Someone who can reach, not exactly Conor McGregor status, but someone who can rise to that next level like Conor and Jones. Someone who can be the face of the UFC. And I got some young prospects and some older guys on here, so let's just get straight into it. First off, let's just start a little fresh here. I got Payton Talbert. It's very early to tell, obviously, but he's a very exciting fighter. He's got that look. He's got everyone very excited. He's got shades of Sugar O'Malley. He was also a rising star. Everyone was comparing O'Malley to Conor back in the day, like a few years ago. He's got, as I said, he's got a fun look. He seems very talented. He has a chance to have a very exciting rise. It's very exciting already, the way he fights, his rise. A lot of people on the hype train, just 3 UFC fights in. So he definitely has the potential if he can keep knocking out guys, and if he is well-rounded enough to become champion. And if he keeps undefeated and keeps winning and kind of develops this exciting personality as well, he could be a huge star. You got to keep in mind though, he is in a very tough division. The top of the division is dominated by wrestlers at the moment. Marab, Umar. This guy's wrestling is untested. We haven't seen a lot of his game. There's a lot of unknowns. We're not sure about his takedown defense or even defensive grappling or any of that. He hasn't been put in many tough spots, and so there's a lot of. The main problem is you just don't know. We don't know yet. So that's the first pick, Payton Talbert. Second one, Tom Aspinall. Extremely talented heavyweight. We all know Tom Aspinall. This guy is so quick. He's huge. He's powerful. He's precise. He's got great grappling, and he beats everybody in the division. I don't think there's anybody in the division that beats him right now, besides the Jon Jones fight, obviously. I think he beats Pereira as well very easily if he comes up. If he gets the Jones fight, his career will skyrocket even more than it already is. If he beats Jones, it'll change his life. It'll skyrocket him so far we can't even fathom it. A Jones win is so monumental. It'll change the UFC. He's got the chance to be the most dominant fighter in the UFC. That is considering the division is a little shallow, but still. You can see, obviously, Pantoja, he's ranked, 9, 10 pound for pound, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But the community already is all for Pantoja, giving him the credit he deserves. Everyone at this point knows he's underrated. And Tom Aspinall, he could be in a similar position, kind of just dominating these guys. But he's so well known already. It's not the flyweight division. I think Tom Aspinall's funny. Some people think he's a bit basic, and he is, hello John, but I think he's really funny. I love his YouTube. He's interacting with the fans and all that, all his fights, and he's got the shortest average fight time. Every fight is very exciting. I think he's just got the potential to keep winning and become one of the biggest stars in the UFC. There are a couple things that could stop his rise. The Jon Jones fight might not happen. And I think he'll still become a huge star without Jon Jones, but the Jones win is what would, bring him from a big name to a superstar. So he might just not even get the chance to do it. As I said, the division is shallow. It's a shallow division. He's beaten most of the big names already. What's left is like Cyril Gane. He could beat Volkov again, because Volkov has massively improved, but I think he beats him easily again. And he'd have to wait for new competition, so he'd be a bit older once the new guys rise up. And he also can't be a double champ, which a lot of casuals like to see. And it's cool when someone's a double champ. It does kind of skyrocket their popularity. But Tom can't do it. He can't move down and he can't move up. So that's what I got for Tom Aspinall. I think he's got one of the higher chances to become a star. Next is probably the most likely is Hamza Chamay. The hype this guy had at the start of his career was bonkers. This was insane because he fought like 3 times in 2 months or something like that, and we all know how it went. The hype has died down, but it's still one of the most hyped contenders in the UFC right now. He's in the best position he's ever been in the UFC. He's next for the title, and I think he beats Dricus. And let's say he beats Dricus, Adesanya. If Adesanya beats Imavov, he beats Strickland maybe, and someone else. That stock is rising tenfold. He's going to be a dominant champion now. It's not just, he can do it. He will do it. He will actually have done it. He can then move up, beat whoever's the champ. I don't think it'll be Pereira by then. I think Pereira, his days as a champion will probably end next year. But regardless, Chimaev can move up and beat the double champ. And I think the popularity this guy has already, he could be an absolutely mammoth star. But he can be very inactive. If he stays fighting once a year or less, he's not going to be that superstar. Just because he's got to be more active. He's going to waste his prime and all that. And he's prone to pulling out. Hopefully that can change once he's champion. I'm not sure the reasons why. Obviously he gets sick. There was a lot of sickness and all that. But hopefully all that is okay now and he can be active. That's it for Hamza Chamay. Next is Ilia Toria. The hype behind this guy is crazy. He's coming off the 2 biggest wins he could possibly have in his division. He knocks out Alexander Volkanovski, knocks out Max Holloway. No one's ever done that twice in a row. And just insane. The hype is already, as I said, crazy. It can only get bigger. He's extremely confident and ambitious. That's really helping him. He says he's going to do something and he does it. And I think, because obviously he gets compared to Conor McGregor, they have a lot of people say he copies Conor. I don't think he's copying Conor. He has shades of what Conor does, like taking the belt, but Conor didn't trademark taking the belt at a press conference. He has shades of it, but he's definitely his own personality. If he goes up and beats Islam, like he says he wants to do, if he goes up, beats Charlie Oliveira and then Islam or Dustin Poirier or something, I can't even fathom what's going to happen. He will explode. And I think regardless, he could be one of the biggest UFC stars in the world in 2 to 3 fights. Even though he is already, he could be incredibly huge. Although, if he moves up, I do think Islam beats him. I think he's pretty likely to lose. I think it's a great fight, but I think Islam beats everybody. So that could halt his rise. And he wants to move up already. I think we all think this, that he needs to get a few defenses. Even though he did just defend against Max Holloway, he needs to beat the guys like Diego Lopez and Movsar Evloev. He needs to beat these guys as the champion. So that's it for Ilia Toria. Next, and I included this guy because he's kind of tied with Ilia at the moment. Same division, same all that. I think he just deserves a mention. I got Diego Lopez. He's got lots of hype already. He's a very fun finisher. Best case for Diego Lopez, Toria. Let's say Toria doesn't move up, because if Toria moves up, let's say Lopez beats Volkanovski, it kind of takes away from Diego. People will say, he didn't beat Ilia. It kind of halts that hype. Let's say Toria doesn't move up. He beats Toria, beats Volk, defends a belt against Volk, beats Movsar, avenges his only UFC loss, beats another couple guys, and he will be one of the biggest stars in the UFC. Everyone loves Diego Lopez already, and if he can get that belt and beat everybody in the division, it's going to be huge. A couple ways this might go wrong. I think Toria beats him. I think Toria probably beats everybody in the division. I think it could be a competitive fight. Diego could catch him. He's slick on the ground. We'll see. I think it's probably a 70-30 in Ilia's favour. And yeah, he's just in a bit of a tough spot because of how dominant the champion is, and he wants to move up and all that. Yeah, so that's Diego Lopez. And I do have an honourable mention here, just quickly. Islam Makhachev. The reason he isn't a proper pick and an honourable mention is because, I don't think he's going to be here for that much longer. I think maybe 2 years, and that might be it for him. Maybe 2.5, 3. He's already the champion. He's already a huge name, number 1, best fighter in the world. What he can do now to become a bigger star is 1 or 2 more defenses and move up. Fight Bilal. Or no, he won't fight Bilal. But maybe if Bilal loses to Shavkat or someone, he can move up and become the double champ. If he does that, I don't think he'll be around. I think maybe 1 or 2 more fights after that. And even if he stays at lightweight, I could see 4 more fights maybe, and I think Islam retires, so that's why he's only an honorable mention. I don't think he's going to be around for that much longer, and he's already kind of at the peak of his career, and he's not, I wouldn't call him the face of the UFC. He's definitely the best fighter, but you know, when you think of face of the UFC, you think of Alex Pereira or Ilia Toria. Next, our last one, I got Joaquin Buckley. This guy is on a great win streak, and there's a lot of hype behind him already after his Colby win. He's on, I think, a 6-fight win streak. Off the top of my head, 4 of them were coming by knockout. I think he definitely has the ability to beat the top guys in the division. He's great on the mic. He's a knockout artist, which is always good for like casual popularity wise. He's got good enough wrestling to defend the takedowns and compete with top wrestlers, I think. Honestly, I think out of the contenders at the moment, Buckley is a pretty hard fight for Bilal. I think Bilal beats someone like Ian Gary. I think he beats Shavkat. I honestly think Buckley is a bit of a tougher challenge considering he has good defensive wrestling and he's just so powerful. He's so strong. He's got great striking. He can knock out anybody. And I think there's a path for him there to continue this win streak and become champion. And if he does, I think his popularity is going to skyrocket. It's going to be huge. But obviously he could lose to guys like Bilal, Gary. I think Ian Gary might beat him, and Shavkat he could. I think the way this is going, if he stops calling out Conor McGregor and keeps doing his thing, I think he's going to become a huge star. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get to that last slide. Got Shui Vasa and Derek Brunson here. We missed the guy, I know. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let me know you guys' picks in the comments as well. See you guys in the next one.